Time for Notice the Word theme song. In the show. That's the best I got there. We're desperately grasping for straws here.
Yeah. I think we're running out of topic ideas.
I'm just going to go right into it. Hello. Welcome to Nerd is the Word, the talk show by nerds for nerds, live on Fredonia's website for radio stuff, fredoniaradio.com.
Mm-hmm.
On 89.5 WDVL is the official thing I'm supposed to say.
I was about to say.
I'm your host, Jackson DiCarlo. That's my buddy, Ben Anderson.
I'm here. And I'm here.
We are bored out of our gourds because this was a slow week.
I mean, it was pretty slow. We just did our own stuff.
Yeah, a lot of schoolwork. Nothing really much happening in the world of nerdism. Next week, though, will probably be more interesting. The week after that will be more interesting. It's anything but this week, really.
I mean, yeah.
It's just kind of the dead period.
I feel like we're in the eye of the storm where nothing happens, and then we'll get the storm coming in.
So we're going to talk about what is going to be happening this episode because nothing has happened.
Yay!
So, like I said, we're just two dudes that like to talk about video games, movies, whatever. We're going to make our recommendations, talk about favorites, reviews, whatever. I'm Jackson, like I said.
Yes.
And my favorite yoga pose is Warrior 3.
Oh, can you demonstrate that for me?
Yeah, that's Wii Fit Trainer's F Smash and Smash Brothers.
I see. Is this how you know yoga?
Leg, and they do the stretch with the one leg. I'm actually doing it, but
you're trying to do. I personally prefer the tree.
Oh, tree's a classic.
It's a good time. It's a balancing act.
Like I said, it's a slow news week, so there's not much to talk about.
I was very confused by that.
I don't know. I look at the favorite section of the intro, and I was like, I don't have anything to talk about, and there's nothing related to anything that we can talk about, so I don't know.
I guess yoga none of us either do.
I don't do yoga on a daily basis either.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean. We don't do yoga.
The most yoga I do is when I play Wii Fit Trainer.
Do you play?
No, I don't even play Wii Fit Trainer.
Are you used to have you ever played I remember doing some yoga on the Wii.
Played a lot of Wii Fit.
That's what I mean.
That was fun.
On the Wii Fit. Remember the bike?
Oh,
you could just
bike.
That
was just you putting your heel up and down for 15 minutes straight.
Yeah, that
was a fun gameplay.
Yeah, I like the one where it's like you glided and then you could flap your wings like a bird.
Yeah. My favorite was the tightrope and the penguin one where you had to flip the iceberg.
Oh yeah, that was a fun one. Wii Fit actually is a pretty good game.
Where's Switch Fit, dude?
That's true.
Where's Switch Sports?
Where's our all cool thing?
Where's Switch Motion Plus?
Well, to be fair, we all credit Nintendo not doing that.
I really would like all of those games, to be completely honest.
Well, I mean, they're gonna just rehash it. I think they ran out of ideas when they made Wii Play.
Yeah.
Wii Play is a little bad. A little bad.
I don't know. I liked Wii Play. It was fine. It wasn't great.
Have you seen the Scott the Woz review?
Yeah.
Where he just freaks out about it.
I didn't pay for it, so,
I guess that's true.
Fine.
But even if you paid $3 for it, I think you overpaid.
We'll see.
I feel like it's not...
I mean, what do I mean we'll see? No, we won't see because it's long done. Anyway, we're gonna, like I said, it's been an incredibly slow week, so we're just going to talk about whatever is going to be happening.
Yay!
There was a recent event.
Yes. That happened pretty much right before the show last week.
Yes.
That we did not want to talk about just because we felt we didn't know a lot about what was really happening.
GDC, right?
Yes.
I watched some of it. I saw the tail end of Google's thing and a few of the announcements that came out of it.
Yes.
I saw an IGN article about it. And it was like top 5 biggest things that come out of this event, and 3 of them were just from Nintendo's Indie Showcase.
I really liked that Indie Showcase. That was probably one of the highlights, but not really enough to talk about.
Do you want to start with that, or do you want to talk about the Google thing first?
We can talk about the Nintendo stuff since that came out first, I think.
So Nintendo had a Nindies Direct, which is where they do just indie games. that they publish on the Switch.
Which is pretty good because they don't get overshadowed when they are just on the normal direct or something like that.
I wasn't even able to watch it because I was being a good student and I was in class.
I watched it much after, around 5.
I just didn't really watch it afterwards because I saw the highlights and was like, oh, cool. So that's what was announced.
Yeah. I just like watching them because I like because if you're like a cool, like if you play games really for mechanics, and indie games are probably the best way to get nice mechanics.
Like indies are really great, and especially with on the Switch because
portable.
Yeah, and it's just a really great indie platform. Like,
it's an easy platform to develop for. It's an easy platform to just port to even.
Yeah, a lot of really great things.
And it's a dev unit for Nintendo Switch is cheaper than any of the other dev units.
A lot of developers are saying that it's like the best system for indie games because like it just is really great for exposure and it's just really fair or whatever.
And Nintendo treats most indie studios with a lot more respect than I feel like other companies do.
It's facts. Anyway, probably the biggest announcement of it was Cuphead was coming to the Switch.
Which opened up the event.
Yeah, that was a big surprise because it was a Microsoft exclusive. So it was only available on the Xbox and the Windows Store and Steam.
Yes.
So it was unavailable on PlayStation and the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's coming, Microsoft and Nintendo.
Yes.
They have been really
that company.
Good buddies for a while now. Like, started with the Minecraft play together thing.
Yeah. The Rocket League was first cross-play on that.
Fortnite. And they're doing a lot of really cool things with it. They're adding, like, aren't they adding Xbox Live to Switch and stuff?
Yeah, portions, like, they'll only work with pretty much their games in certain games. And there's a big rumor about achievements coming because one of the directors for Cuphead talked about achievements in a Twitter post he did, but immediately took it down. And that kind of says that either they're coming or they're not. It's not actually planned.
Well, we'll see.
I feel like E3 is at the time where we'll see a big push from Microsoft.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
For other platforms.
Microsoft is basically running unopposed this year at E3 when it comes to major publishers.
I mean, I feel like Microsoft is going for the method of we don't care what hardware you have, we want you playing our games.
Exactly.
Which honestly is probably their best move at this point.
They had a clean sweep last year. Sony totally dropped the ball, which is probably why they're not showing up. That's my theory, at least, because they had a garbage presentation despite having good games.
I mean, yeah, even though they had good games, they only had 5 good games.
Yeah, it was only 5. So what Microsoft did, for anyone who didn't see it, was they had their event at E3 in the Microsoft studio.
Mm-hmm.
Not the studio, the
what did it take place
theater
a little before?
Across the street. No, it was in E3. And they basically said, hey, we're Microsoft and we make games. Here are all the games we're making. And then they did their classic roll the trailer and it was like, world premiere.
Yeah.
Exclusive. And that's like, they do that before every trailer.
Yeah, they always do that.
And they just had a lot of really cool games. A lot of them were of their own. A lot of them were smaller games from other studios that were going to be on the Xbox. Mm-hmm. They had Fallout 76, which was super cool at the time.
Yes.
They announced the Gears of War would be coming back, and then they ended it with Cyberpunk 2077, which was huge.
Which is, yeah.
But they had a lot of representation from a lot of different studios. They didn't hint at the new console, but they had a lot, and it was all good. There were a few, like, whiffs, like Gears of War Pop. I was like, what?
Well, I
mean... Mobile game with pop figures?
I feel like every presentations has their dips.
Yeah, but for the most part, it's pretty quality. And then PlayStation got everyone in this really big tent outside, kind of, for the atmosphere. And they rolled the trailer for The Last of Us 2. It was like 8 minutes of cinematic or something, and it was interesting. And then they took an intermission where they moved everybody in the tent inside for the rest of the show. And in between, they had like this really forced, weird panel between all the hosts who had just ran from the tent to the panel to talk about what they just saw or something. And then they cut back to the inside.
It's really weird that It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. Because, like...
I forgot about the flutist.
Oh,
They started the tent with, like, a banjo. They had some guy playing the banjo. Just
That
one
was
guy on
cool.
stage just, like, subtly picking at the banjo. Then they rolled the trailer. Then they moved everyone. And then when they got everyone back inside, they had some guy play the flute. And then that was it.
I think I like the musical performances, but that's not why the people
They're
are
out
there.
of place. Like, no one's there to see some guy blowing the flute.
Even though I was like, it's okay.
Yeah, it is. It's fine, but it's just weird.
I mean, I'm just kind of like, can you not... I mean, why couldn't they have done something like what Nintendo did with Breath of the Wild? They only had one game, but they basically won E3 with that one game.
So imagine this. If you can't really relate, imagine, like, going to a restaurant and then sitting down to get your food. So then you order appetizers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the waiter comes back, and then he whips out a kazoo. He's holding your flute, not your flute, your food, and he starts playing the kazoo. And you're just kind of sitting there waiting for him to stop and for him to give you your food. And then he gives you the food, and then as soon as you finish, he moves you to a different table across the restaurant. You're like, okay. And then as you wait for your entrees, like, more people come out with your food, and then they start playing the piano right at your table. Like, they have the melodica thing, like the thing you blow into, like the weird keyboard with the blowy thing. And you're just sitting there like, please, just give me my food. And you're like, all right, and scene. And then they give you the food, and you're like, okay, food's great, but I would have really rather you just gave me the food.
Yeah, I mean, that's just part of the reason why I watched Nintendo's presentation, and then I just kind of watch, the YouTuber Pro Jared?
Yeah.
I just watch his review of E3 because it's pretty fair, and it's pretty concise, and it tells you everything.
I really enjoy watching E3 live because of all the screw-ups and the pure cringe, and I just get to... I really enjoy laughing at it, but...
I feel like I could just
it's
watch
not very professional.
a compilation, and get
It's
the same
great
thing.
for cringe comps. Like, it's the best. I love to watch those because it just feels so horrible. At E3 last year, the EA, the guys who make all the sports games...
Yes.
And they started, like, with a pre-show where they were showing, like, their mobile sports games or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they had a drone shot of, like, the area outside where they were hanging out. And hang on, I'm going to turn off my mic for this so I can demonstrate.
Okay.
So they had a drone shot that just zoomed in on this guy with the microphone. Hang on. And this is basically what he did. Okay, ready? So I'm over here.
Okay.
Drone shot, okay? He was just standing with the microphone. He went, go! Goal! And that was his thing.
He did it. He got the goal.
I don't know if you heard that well enough. I hope he didn't, because that was the whole point. He just yelled into a microphone from across the way, and they just zoomed in on him. And it was so strange. It lasted a whole, 30 seconds of this guy just yelling goal into a microphone to promote a soccer game.
Did it work?
No, it was so horrible.
I don't know. I mean,
My God.
I don't pay attention to the sports segment.
It's just...
It's kind of like Ubisoft's, Just Dance presentation. I don't ever watch that.
Yeah.
I know stuff I know Ubisoft and EA both have to have those segments at E3.
Yeah.
They have to have it. But I'm just like, I don't care. Please move on.
Yeah, it was bonkers.
Yeah, it's part of the reason why it's hard for me to watch E3 and just be like, yeah, it's fun. Because I'm actually interested in a game. I'll read about it, and then I'll just kind of move on. I'll watch the trailer on its own, and I'll be cool.
Yeah, it can be a lot of fun, but companies just kind of want to make it a dance show, and it's just
Yeah,
weird.
I mean, we have to... I don't know. I just don't know why E3 has come to becoming, this dance showy thing.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's just about the games, guys. We're trying to celebrate developers.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that, but whatever.
Oh, yeah, GDC or whatever.
Yes.
Anyway.
Can we move back to GVC?
So, yeah, that's why we mentioned.
Let's move back to this week.
Microsoft, whatever, right? So the other thing that was big for Nintendo at GDC was the Cadence of Hyrule.
Yes.
So basically, there was this indie game a while back called Crypt of the Necrodancer, which is like a classic dungeon crawler style game, where you move through a dungeon, except it's to the rhythm of a song. So every time you move or attack, it's to the beat of music, and it's really cool. But the big reason why this is so interesting is because it's that game mixed with The Legend of Zelda, which is Nintendo, obviously, and they licensed it to an indie studio.
Yeah. It's very interesting, mainly because, I mean, Zelda's a big IP, especially for Nintendo, and, I mean, it proves the trust between Nintendo and indies.
Yeah.
And I feel like it very much strengthens the bond. Because, I read a lot, and I listen to a lot of podcasts about how indies are treated, especially at Nintendo, and a lot of them say they're treated very well, to the point where it's like, Nintendo will fly them out for events.
Yeah, it's super cool.
And they'll do, like, an indie dinner, where they bring them all together, and then they all, like, eat, and it's a fun time.
Yeah, Nintendo's really turning into the really cool uncle.
I mean, it's really weird, because they've been doing this since the Wii U era, and it's probably one of the best things about the Wii U era that no one talked about
the
at
indie
all.
Scene.
What?
The indies?
Yeah, the indies. I mean, that's
that was the beginning of this, which is really cool.
Yeah, the indies was the only thing that kept the Wii U alive for most of its run, and I think Nintendo realized that and realized how much you need their support. So they're very much harkening on this, and I think the Switch is being the Vita for the indie machine. Because before this, Vita was seen as the big indie platform that people really want to.
Vita, didn't they?
Yes, but a lot of people who really loved indies and wanted to play them on the go and just have physical copies of them would play them on Vita.
Yeah, the biggest issue with Nintendo and the indies is that the eShop is just kind of cluttered right now. It needs a lot of work. There's a lot of shovelware. Like, just really bad, stupid games.
Yeah.
There's kind of, like, no quality control. There still isn't, like, a wish list feature, I don't think.
I
it
thought
just
there
needs
was.
a lot. Hang on. I remember...
I would have to re-look. It's been a while since I've been on the eStore. I've been wanting to buy an indie game, and I've been kind of holding off. I'm thinking about buying Cuphead, just because I haven't played it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good games that I just want and don't have money for.
Yeah, I have Cuphead on my computer, but I don't know. Maybe I'll buy it again.
I mean, it's just one of those games that I always wanted to play, but I just don't own an Xbox, and I don't really play games on PC.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just never interested me that much.
It's pretty cool. I definitely recommend getting Cuphead if you can now, or if you haven't tried it yet. It's really fun. It's very difficult and will destroy your emotions, but I mean, worth a shot.
I'm used to playing Contra and all that, so I mean,
if you can handle it, then go for it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll have a fun time.
Okay, so
difficult games are fun.
Do you want to keep going with this, or do you want to mention what's new with us? I just remembered we forgot to do that.
What's new with us?
Well, you've been busy.
It's a weird intersection in the show.
I just forgot.
We can talk about it.
This before.
I thought we could have done this at the end, but
do it at the end? We'll do it at the end.
Yeah, we can do it at the end. I feel like
stay tuned. Don't leave.
Okay.
Please don't leave. If you want to hear more about what a super cool thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bethesda's trying to crawl back into the spotlight.
Yes.
So it was the 25th anniversary of the Elder Scrolls series yesterday. So to say hooray for Elder Scrolls, they gave away Morrowind for free on Bethesda's website, which crashed the website and servers for Fallout 76.
It's a good time, you know.
And then Bethesda was like, hey, we're going to be at E3 again, which is cool, but... It'll be interesting to see them try to make up for last year.
I mean, yeah, they had one really bad game. We'll see what they do next.
Rage 2 is expected to release soon. I forgot the exact...
How is Rage 1?
Rage, I heard, was really good, but Rage 2 is, quote-unquote, the most promising shooter of 2019. So
we'll see.
We'll see. It comes out May 14th.
I'm more interested
Pre-orders are
in
on
Doom, the new Doom.
Doom Eternal,
Yeah.
that'll be at E3 this year.
I'm a very big Doom fan, and
Me too.
especially the new one. The new one I feel like improves on a lot of things.
Agreed.
And just is more accessible to everyone now.
The other really big piece of news from Bethesda was that they plan on bringing all of their new games to Steam.
Yes.
Which is very good news. Steam, if you don't know, is the very big online marketplace for video games, at least the biggest. There are a few other launchers for games, like Blizzard has their own launcher for their games. EA has their own for Apex Legends and stuff. And the new kid in town, which has been like causing a ruckus, is the Epic Games Store. We briefly mentioned this previously.
We talked about it.
The makers of Fortnite have their own store now, and it's cool. It's good to have competition, but their form of competition isn't having a superior marketplace and reasons for people to want to use it. It's buying out other games for exclusivity rights for a year.
Yeah.
So people are forced to use this stuff.
I mean, if there was actually like a price difference in between them, I could see a justification.
The crummy thing is, like, people don't have issues using different launchers for different games if it's that studio, right? So, like, I will buy Overwatch on the Battle.net launcher because that's Blizzard and that's their game, and but I don't want to have to go buy like this cool indie game I've been watching for 2 years exclusively on Epic because they say so.
Well, I mean, this is just how a lot of media industries are.
Point, the XCOM spiritual successor, just said they were bought out by Epic after advertising they'd be on Steam. Same with Outer Worlds, the spiritual successor of Fallout New Vegas, and Metro Exodus as well.
Honestly, they're kind of doing it all wrong, really.
Yeah.
Really, they should have bought them out before they publicized that they're going to Steam. You know.
Well, it's still the issue of buying them out entirely. Like, that's not a good marketplace.
I mean, but I feel like this is still.
If they hadn't specifically said yes, we will be on Steam during like the backing process or whatever, then it would be like easier to take in. But most of these games have specific marketing where they show the Steam logo and say that yes, we will be on Steam.
No, that's what I mean. More of that. I mean, them buying it out is a very bad market technique. It's not that it's bad. It's more that it's just crummy for consumers.
Yeah,
that's more what it is. I mean,
anti-consumer.
To be fair, Netflix has been doing this for years now.
Yeah.
So I think they're trying to do a Netflix model kind of thing. Because Netflix, for people who don't know, they buy the rights, the streaming rights to a lot of different things. For example, there's a lot of shows that they have on their things that are so-called Netflix originals, but it's just more that they own the digital distribution rights in the United States or North America alone for these things. So if there's, I don't know, let's say in particular, there's certain anime which air right on Japanese TV over there, but it's not produced nor made by Netflix. It's just something that they own the distribution rights in North America for.
Yeah.
And they just say it's an original.
Yeah.
I kind of view it the same way.
The only difference here is that Netflix is a mostly polished platform.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's pretty fair. And although some of the stuff on there is complete trash, in my opinion.
You don't have to watch it, kind of, you know?
You could always go somewhere else for the most part. Like, there are other options and, like, good alternatives. The issue here is that they are specifically making it so you have to use their inferior store that is plagued with problems. People have had issues of data being stolen. The launcher itself is taking data from Steam and from other programs on your computer to, get information and use that in their own utilities, which is incredibly illegal. But it's just, like we said, it's very anti-consumer, and it just kind of hurts the industry. But for Bethesda to straight up come out and say, yes, we are going to be on Steam, and we have no intentions of being bought out by Epic anytime soon, it's just really good.
I mean, well...
the biggest part of it, though, is that they said they were going to bring Fallout 76 to Steam, finally.
Oh, yes.
So if they in an attempt to revive their mega dead game, they're gonna bring it to Steam. So hopefully it will be, I don't know, somewhat decent now.
Yeah,
They have been producing more content for the game. There were a few DLCs. I heard they were fine for the most part, but like not a reason to come back to the game because there's still a lot of issues. They've still been banning people left and right for stupid stuff, and it just is still very wide as an ocean, deep as a puddle.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's hard to say like, oh, you should just let the thing die just because of how much money they dumped into it.
Yeah,
I think it's like it's something you could fix, but it's kind of a No Man's Sky scenario where it's going to be a year or two before most people are going to even want to look at it again.
Yeah, the new trend of the gaming industry seems to be give us your $60 now, have a mediocre game now, and then maybe in a year it'll be very good.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, No Man's Sky, you didn't invest a terrible amount of money, if I remember correctly,
60,
at launch.
no, it was 60.
Was it 60?
Yeah.
I didn't think
They've
it was 60.
been putting it half off recently for like 30 or so.
I didn't think it was a full 60. I thought it was 40.
It might be 40.
I thought it was 40.
I think you're right.
And most people who, there is a good majority of people who did play that and did enjoy it at launch, even though a lot of people were disappointed that a lot of the features that were promised were not in the game.
Yeah, that's a whole nother scenario of it just being completely under delivering.
You also have to state the fact that this is that company was an unknown publisher, developer and more, because it was published by Sony, obviously. So it's like it was hard to say what the expectation is. Where in Bethesda, you have an expectation usually from that company.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crummy to see how it's a gamble with these games now. Like, you give them the money, you hope it's great, and then it's vastly underwhelming, and then you have to just pray that they are in it for the long run, and if they are, like, you've already shot your shot, so, like, you're kind of in it.
It's part of the reason why I feel like a lot of people are looking back at indie games.
Yeah, indie games have been really good for the most part.
Well, I'm very adamant that instead of, like, going for this realistic new engine and look, all that, we should just go back to something that maybe be a little bit less
costly.
Maybe it doesn't look as good, but it's less costly. Developers can do what they want without it being that much risk for the company.
Yeah.
And people will be happy with their games, and we will not have to buy DLC, which is essential for the game, so that the game company can at least make back even what they put back into the game.
Yeah,
I'm very, like, I don't know why many people don't have this, many game companies don't have this notion. Because I feel like Nintendo has been doing this for years.
Yeah.
It's part of the reason why their consoles aren't as powerful. It's just due to the fact that they don't want to even, like, think about using the console to its fullest extent.
It's strange that, like, people think that better graphics mean better game.
Yeah, people has been thinking this for years.
Then you have Minecraft just coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But, the indie model is incredible because it gives, like, my one friend, Chris, his absolute favorite game, well, one of it was Hollow Knight. Have you played it?
Yeah, it's a good game.
Team Cherry, which I'm pretty sure is only 3 dudes, right?
Yeah, it's very
made this
small.
Beautiful hand-drawn platformer game. And by hand-drawn, I mean they literally drew every piece of animation. And it did incredible on the computer, on PC. It did incredible on PlayStation.
And
then
Switch.
Came to the Switch, and it's one of the top 10 most selling indie games. And they were planning on doing. They have been releasing free DLC, and they wanted to do a paid DLC that was like much bigger and more quality. And they started making it, and they're like, this is bigger than it should be. So they made it. It's a separate game.
Yeah.
It's called Silk Song, I think, and it's I don't know. Everyone's really.
I mean,
excited
really,
for it.
I feel like this is, especially a company like that. That's how games should be.
Yeah.
I look at that and I see these are people that are passionate about games.
Yep.
These are people who will, they have their business in line to the point where they can do what they're doing.
Yeah.
And make it successful. And it's just, I mean, honestly, I feel like at this point, a few years ago, like let's say a decade ago, that could have been more common.
Yeah.
That type of model could be more common, but it was just hard because the accessibility wasn't there for all these engines.
And then you have your boys at EA that just want to run everything beautiful into the ground. Today, they laid off 350 employees. Yeah, I think it was in the marketing department or something. Basically, they've had two very different approaches to the most recent games that released. We have the incredible game, absolutely stunning, impressive, immersive, sarcastic way of saying this game, Anthem.
Yes.
Which is dead on arrival. We talked about it previously on the show. They had a really botched beta, demo, whatever. Very underwhelming performance of single-player, multiplayer. Everything was just kind of garbage. To the point where they released a statement on the 19th. Today's the 26th, for reference. The general manager of BioWare, the studio responsible for it, they also made the Mass Effect games. They basically made a statement that said, whoops, we're very aware that we have disappointed many of you. Still in the early days of the game, the guy said, I take it very personally, and it's a top priority to improve the game. We are working on patching the game. Story is just beginning. Stay tuned. Best is yet to come.
So basically what I heard is we're working on it.
Yes, so...
and, I mean, I bet you this is a game that they were forced into.
Yeah.
This isn't, like, a passion project by anyone to get done. This isn't, like, they're just, like, BioWare is a good studio when they know what they're doing. I think a lot of the issue with BioWare is, especially when they're making their own games, is more the fact that a lot of their head developers, when it was still, like, more of a solo studio away from EA, are gone.
Yeah.
And this, even though, like, there's still a good amount of talent at BioWare...
Yeah, that's why, like, the issues are, like, we're having this studio make the game from, like, 30 years ago. Like, we're bringing the series back and we're going to have the same studio do it. But, like, a lot of those people are gone now.
So what's the point of doing... You might as well give it to a well-talented team.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of like the Rare thing where, like...
Yeah.
Where it's like, you're giving it the Rare. And I'm like, hey, the CEOs of Rare aren't even there that were, like, the main people that made most of those
Rare
games.
has kind of had a lot of misses. They had Sea of Thieves. They had that awful Crash... Nuts and Bolts Banjo-Kazooie game.
That was a launch title for the 360, so that was a long time ago.
There was a lot of crap.
Really, they didn't do anything for 6 years. They did a Kinect game.
Yeah, it's kind of like going to, let's say...
It was a Kinect game was David Tennant, I think, as a voice actor.
David Tennant was a voice actor?
Yeah, he was like the announcer or something. I forgot.
I'm trying to think of an analogy here. It's like saying... going to a restaurant, having a really cool waiter.
why is all your analogies? Because
that's something that everyone can relate to.
I guess so, but it's just a restaurant.
It's like a restaurant, and you have a really cool waiter, and you're like, dude, let's go again. And he's just a fresh out of college kid. He's having a blast waiting you, and then you go back 3 years later, and he's not there anymore. You're like, what? Why isn't he there anymore? Moved on to better things, dude. And he was there, and now he's not.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Back to the, should I get back to the EA, or do you want to say anything else about it?
I mean, there's something really to say. I mean, especially with EA at this point, because I just don't know, as a company, I don't know where they're headed. They've always, I mean, let's look at EA in particular. EA.
I was going to say, like, the other approach they had was the Apex Legends approach. Where they were it was BioWare, not BioWare, Respawn. They were very self-aware in this project. We know that we are making a battle royale, a free-to-play hero shooter. We know this is the 7 deadly sins, except 3, of video games. And it's coming from EA, so if we do any marketing, people are instantly going to shoot it down. So we're just going to give you the game, let you see that it's good, and then enjoy it. And it was a massive success. 25 million players in the first week of launch. it's still getting really high ratings, and they had a battle pass recently, which was announced. It's kind of lackluster comparatively. The stuff you can get from it, although fairly valued, is kind of weak compared to the other battle passes that are around. The skins are kind of meh. Every 5 levels, you just get an indicator that says you have reached this level of the battle pass. That's not really worth anything, but it's still a very high quality game. Like the new hero that was announced and released is very fun. Another one is expected to come out before the season ends. It's only been like a month or two since launch, and they are still pumping out content like rapid fire.
I wonder. Well, I was very curious because I think the studio at this point was pretty much on the line.
Yeah.
And they needed to produce something really fast. Or not like very fast, but they needed something to get out so that they could make a revenue and show E3 that they're a profitable developer. Mm-hmm. Which this is, and it did well, and it paid off. This was a risk that paid off.
It was a really brilliant
I think
move.
It bought them more independence. Hopefully for me, because I always looked at Titanfall, and Titanfall is very much a passion project.
Yeah, and
that they've done.
Titanfall 2 was very good too, but it was just
no one
bought it because of like the timing, and I don't know. It was just a lot of factors, and this game has done well enough to bring back Titanfall 2. Like the servers are full of people, and Titanfall 3 has even been like teased to be like in development now because like of the incredible fan reception.
I mean, this also brings up the internal integrity of EA, and I'm just like, so EA thought that they could make 2 Battle Royale games.
What?
Like, because as a publisher,
what's the other one?
Didn't they do Anthem and?
Anthem's not a Battle Royale.
Is it not Battle Royale?
No, it's.
I thought it was.
It's kind of. It's kind of.
I
like
thought it was
Destiny.
very similar.
It is multiplayer. It's kind of like a Destiny, basically.
Okay.
It's very strange.
So they wanted to produce 2 like very big multiplayer games at kind of around the same time.
Yeah, so everyone's theory was they had BioWare, this massive single-player studio that was great at sci-fi atmospheric worlds, and they said, make Destiny. And they're like,
okay.
No. We started working on this really cool single-player game, and it's really neat. And like, nope, gotta be multiplayer, live service, people gotta come back and buy it. And they're like, well... and they kind of got forced into this. And then they have Respawn, which is their other studio, and they knew what they were doing and they made the best of it and worked out. So they released both of these almost simultaneously, and one crashed and burned because it was a garbage product, and it had a really garbage timing with the release and that awful bug, like that awful beta, and then Respawn just said, here it is. And that was brilliant.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, even if, like, I feel like it would have been avoided if, like, Anthem was just good. Like, if Anthem was good, I don't think it would take away from either game.
No,
but,
they
just didn't do it well.
I don't know. I just feel like it could have, but I don't know. It's hard. That's a what if scenario. That's a what if scenario at this point.
It's needless to say though, like Anthem has had no impact on the success of Apex Legends.
No, I'm very adamant of saying that.
If anything, Apex Legends, I don't know if I could say Apex Legends has hindered Anthem's success. I can't really say it has because I don't think anyone has looked at Apex and said, "Hey, I'm gonna play this and not buy Anthem."
Well, I feel like, but I don't.
People are not buying Anthem because people don't like Anthem.
Yeah, I just feel like if they both were successful, it's kind of nipping at their heels when it doesn't make any sense to try to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of like how Marvel is producing Captain Marvel and Endgame very close to one another.
Yeah,
I personally think too close as a business perspective, because I'm just like, literally a month later, you're gonna go back to the theaters to see another superhero film.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Just a quick interjection. I just saw the new Dumbo has a 50 on.
Does it really?
Yeah, just
I'm
throw
very.
that in there.
Thank you.
Anyway, Anthem has a 55 Metascore and a 3.7 on PlayStation. On PC, it's a 60 and a 4.2, and Xbox, it's a 65 and a 4. So,
okay.
Yeah, no one.
Xbox best version.
don't know. It's just really a shame.
I don't know. It's just whatever. I think it's just a whatever game that no one's gonna remember in like 5 years.
Yeah,
and that
I mean, it can have like the No Man's Sky redemption arc, but like
this
is the issue we were just talking about.
Well,
the
thing
it's
is,
$60 now, and maybe it'll be good later.
the main difference is that I feel like No Man's Sky has an amazing art style that was not capitalized on. Has amazing ideas and gameplay mechanics that I'm just not interested in Anthem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like No Man's Sky was a perfect, like, thing to start off with.
Yeah.
And should not have been released in that current state.
Yeah.
Or at least if it was, it shouldn't have been promised day one with all these other things.
Yeah.
That didn't happen until around a year or two later.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
I don't know. It's just rough.
The current thing of AAA gaming just is bad.
Yeah, it needs a lot of reform.
I don't know why every company now. There's a few that don't, but
we had the Telltale crash.
Yeah.
We had the Blizzard big get out, give us more money to give to our CEO thing, and EA, like I said, laid off 350 people today.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It needs a lot of reform for everyone involved, like developers, artists.
There needs to be a union. That's what I'm kind of looking at this point. It needs a union.
I mean, people get really upset when Outer Worlds is on Epic Games, but don't get that upset when like hundreds of thousands of people are being screwed in the gaming industry.
If that being on Epic Games saves the company, it's probably a better call.
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
give us $1 million for this, or for the several $1 million a year for this. I don't know.
I know that sucks for like consumers, but if that's the way to keep your studio alive, you got to do it.
Yeah, but that
I know it's a bad move, but it's a business.
It's probably either that or fire those people.
Yeah. So what do you? It's kind of just look at one or the other.
Yeah, future gaming is kind of depressing.
Kind of, yeah.
Unless there's going to be
kind of
reform,
a movement or something in the gaming industry. I mean, it's hard to say. I feel like there's going to be a good movement coming up in a few years. I mean, just especially looking at the landscape of future gaming, and especially what Google showed.
Stadia?
Yeah.
We got 15 minutes. You want to talk about that now or some other time?
I don't know. I mean, Stadia is not
we still have some movie stuff we want to talk about.
What movie stuff do you want to talk about?
The 3 upcoming movies this month.
The 3 upcoming movies? Do you not want to save them until later? Or do you
I still have no clue what the hell Stadia is, honestly.
I can tell you.
I mean, it's like a streaming service, but like I'd like to know more
It's
about
basically
it, right?
a streaming service that...
For games.
What do you mean?
For games, right?
Yes. So...
you buy the controller and then that's it?
Yeah. So basically, Google is now doing a thing where they started to stream games. They first did it with Assassin's Creed Origin earlier this year. And it was a pretty good success. And they're like, yeah, this seems like a good time. And they unveiled Google Stadia. And it's basically a controller. Mm-hmm. You're not buying the controller.
They said no boxes. It's just
no boxes.
Controller.
And you're basically everything is streamed through the internet. And it's to the point where they're like, it's at least 10 teraflops worth of data. Which, I mean, is kind of cool, I guess.
It's like 1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool... some of the demos they showed were kind of interesting.
I had MatPat from the Game Theory up there.
Yeah, that was probably the worst part.
They got another 300 dislikes on the
That was probably one of the worst things. But I just feel like a lot of people were very nasty towards Google for this, and I'm just like, well, this is just a proof of concept.
It's like selling gonorrhea to you. It's
a proof of concept.
It's a game system thing. It's interesting.
I think it's interesting because
there's just a lot of questions.
It's not. They specifically said that not everyone on day one is going to have it.
They said there's going to be a lot more information coming out soon in the summer,
and
maybe 3 time. We'll see.
I think they said in the future a lot of Google's goal with Stadia is to be able to get streaming games, to be able to have your quality be better and have it require less bandwidth. And that is their goal.
Could be very promising.
And I feel like, I mean, let's say if the service is like Netflix, where it's $15 or $20 a month, even though I know it's another subscription service, it's better than paying $400 upfront for a console sometimes.
Yeah, those consoles are going to be quite draining,
And
especially
you
if
pay
can't commit to
$60
it.
for a brand new game.
Yep.
So I feel like if this is the new model, it might actually be cheaper to do it like this.
Maybe.
And not to mention, I feel like they've showed promising things of split screen gaming coming
A
back.
lot of interesting streaming integration.
Yes.
Integration.
Integration.
Like they said some guy could stream his game and then have like an invite link in his stream to join, like get in line for his game or whatever.
Which, obviously, it's only going to be through YouTube, but you know.
Yeah, of course.
It's whatever.
I mean, aren't they buddies with Twitch guys?
No. I'm trying to think who owns Twitch. Amazon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Amazon owns Twitch, so I don't. Google and Amazon are kind of competitors.
Yeah. More information will be coming out about Stadia sooner than later, hopefully.
Yeah, and I think it looks promising.
I think the name is kind of stupid.
But I feel like every name is stupid. Look at Wii. When it first came out, a lot of people were making fun of it.
Anyway.
Well, are you not gonna say that's not a stupid
Wii's
name?
A stupid name. I love it though. I really do. I love
it's not.
the Wii.
It's not that it's a bad console. It just has.
I love the name too. The Wii U, however.
That's a little.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about these movies that are coming
Yeah,
up?
we can talk about the movie.
All right. So first is Shazam. That comes out. Shazam. Sorry.
It's a callback.
That comes on the 5th of April.
Are you more? Do you feel better about it now? Do you feel better about going?
Shazam.
Is that a yes or no?
Shazam.
I think that's a yes.
Shazam.
Now that it has a 93% in Rotten Tomatoes.
90. What? No.
It has a 93.
No way.
Look at it. Yeah, I just looked it up before the show. It's 93.
What the what?
I told you, right?
Are you kidding me? It has
show.
a higher rating than Pet Sematary?
Well, Pet Sematary, I mean, I don't know if that's a good remake or not. So how do you feel? How are you feeling?
Okay, this will be interesting.
Either you'll really hate it or you'll actually like it.
I mean, like, we'll see.
I think you'll think it's adamant, at least.
I really like Shazam's character.
I feel like he's an
one
interesting...
of my favorite DC boys.
Although
I don't know much about him.
I was about to say,
I love his character. Basically, it's just some kid with like wizard powers. He says the name of a wizard, and then he gets powers.
I mean,
and the one thing I know about him that I really like is that he's an orphan, and when he becomes Shazam, he can take the form of anyone he wants. Yeah, but he chooses to be his dad, who's dead or something. I think it's cool. But he's got some interesting powers, and he's like Greek god stuff. I don't know, right?
Yeah, it's an interesting character, and he has some rivalries with Superman whenever they're kind of together. Because he's still a kid. Yeah. And it's kind of interesting.
But yeah. I don't know. I thought this was kind of a goofy movie that was like...
I think it will be a goofy movie.
Step its boundaries. Like, I know it's meant to be a comedy, but I feel like it's going to be like too hard to be Marvel. Where it'd be like, you know...
Maybe those trailers just were badly cut.
Shazam! I'm Shazam! I got superpowers!
Maybe those trailers were just badly cut.
I sleep on a Murphy bed!
I don't remember him saying that.
That's the wall. That's
what's the next movie?
Hellboy! No.
You don't have to say.
It's just Hellboy. That's like mid-April, isn't it?
Yeah. A week or two before their next movie.
This game looks really cool. This movie looks really cool. I mean,
you want to see that one?
I do want to see Hellboy. I never saw the originals.
Do you want to watch the originals before?
Should I watch them first or after?
We can watch them. I mean, it's just it's a new origin story, so it makes no difference really.
I don't know, maybe I'll just see this one and then compare it to the old ones.
Okay, because I do like the old ones.
The trailers that have come out make it look really cool.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, like, it seems neat. The new actor seems neat.
I really like him. He's a very good actor.
Ron Perlman was the other one, right?
Yes.
And he did really good,
He's very good.
Yeah, we'll see.
I feel like...
I don't know much about Hellboy, but from what I've seen him in, like Injustice 2 and stuff, he's pretty cool.
He's a cool guy.
Definitely want to see this. We're gonna see Shazam
too. I think all of them are.
I didn't say that specifically.
I think all these movies that you have up here are
we'll
very
see and
promising
review
movies.
all of these. So
I think we'll see them all.
The last one is Endgame,
which
late April, right?
Late April, early March. I forgot when the release date was.
We are in late March right now, buddy.
Yeah, I mean early May.
Yeah, this game. Not much more to say about this. It's been hyped for a year now, basically.
I mean, it comes out pretty much a year right after the last one.
New trailers have come out. They all look great. The new posters were shown today, and it said like "Avenge the Fallen," and it showed who was alive and who was dead.
Yes.
I
think either this will, it's hard to say what I think about this movie. It could either be one of the best movies or it will be really bad for me.
I mean,
I don't want it to
be.
I
hope it's not like another Avengers Age of Ultron, where it's
just
kind of underwhelming.
Well, the thing with Age of Ultron was that Marvel, right before they did the before the movie came out, they released their 5 or 10 year plan.
Oh yeah,
where they show Civil War and Endgame. Mm-hmm. Well, not Endgame specifically, but more Infinity War. So everyone was just kind of more ready for those movies.
Yeah. April 26th, that's a straight month from today.
Yeah. So I think
comes out on Friday. Oh, dude, Thursday night at midnight.
Oh, yeah. We could maybe go see that. I feel like I don't think it'll be at midnight.
Biology at 8 in, dude. I don't think it'll biology.
No, I don't think it'll be at midnight, dude.
No, what they do. Well, that's how I saw Infinity War. Like when it came out. Say it came out Friday the 5th. Thursday night.
Oh yeah, at
midnight.
No, I know what you mean. I'm saying when they did the Captain Marvel premiere, that came out on Friday. Yeah. We went to go see it at 8 o'clock.
Oh yeah, you can see it the night before. Is what I mean.
Yeah, I was going to say we're gonna see it the night before, not at midnight.
I mean, whatever is available, dude.
I know what you mean.
School comes after Endgame. I'm sorry, mother.
Oh no.
This is more important to me.
I mean, I understand, but I don't know if you can say that.
I live in a ditch for the rest of my life. If I see Endgame, I'm set. Oh yeah, it's gonna be incredibly promising.
I just really wish Marvel would kind of take a break for half a year.
Yeah, but they already have so much lined up already. They're like, after this, we got Far From Home. Then we have...
What else? I don't know. We don't know what happens after From Home. We don't know. It was supposed to be...
movie lineup.
It was supposed to be Guardians 3, I think.
Oh, yeah, but I think it got pushed back because
of the James Gunn stuff.
I'm looking it up. Spy wants my
I think it's all speculation, because it's like...
Dark Phoenix.
Well, that's not a Marvel movie.
It is now.
That's a Fox movie.
Far From Home. The New Mutants.
Oh, well, that's a different thing. I don't even think that's coming.
2020, we have an untitled movie. And then we have Morbius.
That's not even... Morbius. That's a Sony film.
And then 2021, we have more... actually, this is a lot of unannounced stuff.
Yeah,
unknown release dates.
None of these are announced.
Guardians
these are just
3, Venom 2, X-Force.
Oh yeah,
Black
I guess that
Widow,
would be coming.
Shang-Chi. What the hell is Shang-Chi?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Doctor Doom.
That would be fun. I would like to have a Doctor Doom movie. Silver Surfer movie would be fun.
Laura.
Don't know. Oh no, she's the daughter of
Wolverine's daughter.
I need to show you Logan.
Multiple Man. Kitty Pryde.
That's
Deadpool
a weird.
Director is teaming up with Brian Michael Bendis about the formerly youngest Ant-Man. What?
Oh, I know her. Yeah, It's hard. This is all speculation. I don't even know what to say.
We'll see. They have.
I think they're gonna
Far From Home lined up at least.
Yeah, I think at Comic-Con they're gonna have their big 5-year plan. They're gonna unveil it and be like, here's these movies.
I don't know. We'll see.
Well. I wonder if Venom's part of the MCU. I'm very curious.
I hope not.
Well, it probably will be, buddy.
Please no.
Why not, buddy?
No,
you love it.
Third in the wind.
You love Venom.
I think I'm ready to leave, Ben.
Hey, you love Venom.
Do you have anything else you want to say before
we have
I
5
turn
more
off the
minutes,
show?
buddy.
I don't want to be here anymore. You've mentioned the hero should not be named.
Well, I mean, what's the other one?
What?
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, okay. Thank you for tuning in to Nerdist the Word.
You even said last week you would rather watch Venom than Captain Marvel.
How about we look at who won the Kids' Choice Awards this year?
Oh no, because we don't even have that section of the show still.
Did we lose that episode?
Yeah, well, we didn't lose the episode.
Oh, talk about it.
Oh, we didn't even talk about the thing we wanted to talk about. So Nerdist the Word. We have Twitter stuff going. Yay!
Yeah,
Twitter is all cool looking now.
Ben's finally freaking doing it.
Well, I've done a lot of stuff. I've done even more stuff. If you go to our Twitter page, you can go into the thing itself, and you can click a link to YouTube for our YouTube channel, where you can catch up on previous episodes of the show. I only have 2 episodes up right now from this current season.
We lost the Pokemon episode, so
Yes.
if you're here for that,
that kind of sucks.
You are one of the few people who will know about that episode.
That's one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, it was a
and
good
I'm very
one.
sad that
Sorry
I
about it.
wasn't able to record it.
Can't really get it back or anything.
No, it's kind of done. And we lost half of the one episode where we talked about Kids' Choice Award.
Oh well.
That one wasn't really that good of an episode, so I don't feel as bad. But we have this one, and we have Captain Marvel, and I need to edit down Captain Marvel, and I can put that one up. And I'm going to put up the half episode soon.
Yeah.
And I'll put up this episode soon, hopefully.
So we are on YouTube now. The channel is just Nerd is the Word, right?
Yes.
So yeah, you can
just search us up, and I think we're pretty close to the top.
You just search that. There is Canova, Nerd is the Word, a 7-year-old video about something. Then there's a sketch from 8 years ago. Then there's another sketch from 7 years ago. And then there's us. We're right above Weird Al's White and Nerdy music video.
Which is very appealing, YouTube. Nice to see.
Yeah, so...
We're above...
If you are having trouble finding us, just click the filter button in the top and then go to channel. Sure we should be the only one...
No.
Nope, there's a lot of them. There's Word Nerds. There's The Nerd is the Word. We are not that one. We are Nerd is the Word. You'll see our faces.
Well, yeah, you'll see the banner.
We're not Nerd of the Word.
Well, you could just...
Nerd is the Word.
Wait,
we are Nerd is the Word. Who the hell is this guy?
I don't know. He's a weird dude.
He has 3 videos.
Well, don't look up
Spanish.
People.
They have 32 views. Cool. Good videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're on YouTube. Check us out. If you aren't following us on Instagram, you could follow us there. Also on Twitter. What's our Twitter? _nerd is the word _.
Yes. I'm
trying to figure out. I think we're the Nerd is the Word show.
Yeah.
On
on
Instagram.
What? Oh, okay. I didn't know that's what we were on there.
I usually will post a countdown for the show beforehand.
Yeah.
And maybe like a thanks for tuning in thing, but usually not much after that.
Yeah. I don't know.
But if you want to interact with the show, that's how you do it. You just
you can.
Something. Sometimes I'll be like, "Hey, we're talking about this tonight. What do you want to add to that?" And you can just say, "Hey, I like Stunfisk," and then I will say, "Hey, I hate you." And,
Stunfisk is a great
then
character.
You could be like, "Well, how did you guys feel about this movie?" Or have you ever played this game? And I don't know. We'll talk about it. So yeah, be sure to follow us there, support us wherever.
I see.
We'll add you to the show.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you all set, Ben? You ready to roll?
Yeah, I'm all set to go.
All right, cool. Thanks for tuning in to Nerd is the Word. I've been Jackson DiCarlo.
And I've been Ben Anderson.
We'll see you next week. It won't be Shazam time because that comes out the next week.
Yeah.
But next week we'll have something.
Well,
I hope.
We'll talk to our buddies. We'll see who's.
We'll figure it out. We'll see who's around. We'll see what we can talk about.
We'll see what we can do.
We'll see you next week.